Hi, Vic Weekley, and I'm here with G Lopes. G, what's going on today?
I'm surprised you didn't actually pick up your mic.
I was really close to, but I thought you were going to yell.
Do it.
So I might do it. All right, ready?
Do it.
Oh, God. Hi, Vic Weekley, and I'm here with G Lopes. G, what's going on today?
You just made all that audio unusable. Very good. Thank you.
I can't wait.
Thank you. Are you excited about your new mic?
I love it. I feel like we are on a podcast, so that's our next step. So we really need sponsors if people are down for it.
We're definitely making some progress, right? We're definitely making some growth, slowly but surely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, how's it going?
Good. Good. Back in New York, and it is hot today, G.
Yeah, it's hot. You know, I was outside for maybe like a second, and I was already sweating. So that's how. Yeah, that's how you know.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's warm, but it's nice. It's good. I'm glad to be back and the weather's nice. That's that's the best part.
What we're here to talk about, which is very uncomfortable for some, especially for most in Catholic circles. I think generally it is an uncomfortable topic to talk about, not because of what the topic is, but because of just we don't want to offend. We don't want to, have misleading conversation. It's a whole conversation. And again, I don't know all of the letters. LGBTQ plus. Did I say that right?
Yep, you did.
Yeah. So there's a lot of letters, and I want to make sure that I give all of them the respect that they deserve, in terms of the order too. So,
yeah.
So Vicky, what did you think of Father Abe's video this week?
I really, I appreciated his approach. I thought that because he took the approach that he did, I think more people will be willing to listen to the video. It is definitely a hard one to have, but I there are things about Father Abe and his videos that I appreciate a lot because, and I mean, they could have just been the way that I saw it, but I feel like Father Abe really did a subtle call out of people,
Oh, okay.
And, of the falling into habit of judging one group of people. If you're going to cast judgment, you might as well cast judgment on everybody,
Sure.
And I think he really reminded people that Christ didn't look for the perfect people, because if not, he wouldn't have found anybody. And I think he did a great job of reminding us that at the end of the day, we all sin, and so I think that was a great way to at least begin the conversation for many people, because I'm sure it's just something that is not spoken about in a lot of places or households. So I just thought that was a great approach. What about you? What'd you think of the video?
Yeah, I think the video actually was planned before that Supreme Court decision came out. So we've been talking about it. So in a weird way, it was almost like providential that
it was pretty sudden.
That happened, and then we were talking about it. I think for some, I hope this softens their hearts a little bit on the perspective of the Catholic Church, especially with our LGBTQ plus brothers and sisters.
Mm-hmm.
I think that some people had really bad experiences with priests, and I understand that people can view the priest as the representative from the church, but I think at the end of the day, that priest is just that person. There are a lot of people in this world who absolutely do not how do I word this, or won't judge you as conservatively as some will. Some will throw the book at you, and that old school, we hear, if you're gay you're gonna go to hell kind of attitude.
That's a huge portion too, I think, because it's let's say you're a youth minister and one of your kids identifies as LGBTQ plus, and it's suddenly you're I don't know how to minister to them. And it's okay, well, how would you minister to somebody that didn't identify or didn't tell you that that's how they identified? And it's people still need to be walked with and accompanied and journeyed with. And it's because they identify as one thing when they have millions of other identities, that's the one we choose to focus on. And we the larger church, whoever it is, but that's so divisive, and I think exactly what you said, right? My comment of the church would be empty is that
absolutely,
if we wanted to really judge people on all their sins, no one could come to church. If we wanted to marginalize people for the things that they were doing or however they're living their life, no one's going to make the cut. We're not going to make the cut. And so this divisiveness that we really fall into, I don't think it's fair. It's not fair for anybody. It's not fair for the person doing it or the person receiving it. And it really reminds me of Pope Francis loves to talk about like the throwaway culture.
Okay.
And I feel like that's what we end up doing with people. And I feel like we've talked about that or touched on that in our past videos, but I feel like we do that with people, and we, just because we don't agree or we don't understand, or we just choose not to listen to people's side of something, or, whatever it is, we're just like, I can wash my hands of you and move on to something else, and I think we're never going to be like Christ if we continue that path, and,
Sure.
But
Sure.
I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I'll tell you a story. So my freshman year of college, I had a roommate, and it was a random roommate, and he found me on Facebook at the time, and he reached out, and I was like, oh, I didn't know that you were my roommate. Okay, great. And he shared do you have any concerns or anything like that? And I remember freshman year G was like, well, listen, as long as you're not gay, we're gonna be fine.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And come to slowly learn is that he was very much gay. He identified as a homosexual man. And I didn't know that the hurt that I did there. I was very unaware of that hurt.
Yeah.
And he was able to really teach me to begin. He taught me a lot. He taught me that acceptance of or not assuming, or to say, it was so stupid, so ignorant of me to even come out like that. But I think how often do we say things like that? Oh, as long as you're not that, you're fine. I think
You're right.
I don't know. It makes you think a lot. It makes you, I guess the best way of describing it, what he introduced me to was my ignorance, which I guess is the best way of putting it.
Say it. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I think what we're trying to, I think what's coming across in the conversation is that we don't know, people.
Yeah.
We don't know.
100%.
And we work for the church, and that's not saying much that hey, we work for the church, but in the sense of knowing everything, but we don't know what the right answer for this topic is, because we understand what the church says about this. We get it, and
Yeah.
that's not something we need to hash out. But at the same time, though, I want to make sure that I still have the ability to minister to these people. I want to still make sure that they understand that they're loved and adored by God, by Jesus Christ. But it's not a conversation that we want to have. It's a conversation, or I'm sorry, it's not a topic that we are oh yes, let's have this topic and let's talk about it. It's a topic that the young people have requested because they want to know how to deal with this. What I have found through our ESL program, our Empowering Salesian Leaders program, when we talk about identity or sexual identity, young people feel like they're so confused. What do we do? And I think that's part of the trouble, that part of the box that we're putting people in. Homosexuality is a sin, but we want them to be our friend. So which one really is it? So again, I appreciated Father Abe's approach. I've experienced a lot of ignorance. I've been a part of a lot of ignorant moments in my life. Some that I have, I guess led myself.
So in prep for this, I love Pope Francis. I think he's the man. And I'm so proud that he's our Pope. But he said there's an interview that he gave while he was flying, and it's what I'm talking about?
Yes,
and it rocked the world, he was like, if someone is gay and he searches for the Lord and he is good and he has goodwill, who am I to judge? I don't know. I don't know the answer, but
Right.
I know how the relationships that I have in my life, and just, it's just the beauty that comes from understanding somebody, right? Having that moment of being hey, tell me about yourself. And what is your life like? Every aspect, not just this one, but maybe it touches every aspect of your life. But
Sure.
it's, I don't know. I just think we're just called to share authentic witnesses of Christ. And I think being mean to people is not the authentic witness of Christ.
I think one of the things that I've taken from you, Vicky, is understanding your why. And I think that's what I was trying to get to from your advice is, when you're feeling uncomfortable ministering to somebody who identifies like this, why are you getting uncomfortable?
Yes.
Is it because you think, because you think you're going to be hit on? Is it because you think You know, like, I don't know. What are you afraid of giving the wrong advice? Are you like, what is your why for being uncomfortable? And if because you don't understand, pick up a book. Everybody, because of this whole racist stuff that's going on, everybody's like, educate yourself. Do the same thing. Yep. Educate yourself and learn about why it is that your why is that I'm uncomfortable. But if your why is anything else other than that, then it could be you need to pray and understand like where else could that be? What is manifesting in me that I am uncomfortable with this population? You know,
No,
Vicky, I wanna throw it to you. Do you have any shout outs for this week?
My God,
Why do you always panic?
because I didn't know you were gonna ask.
I'm gonna start asking from now on.
Oh my God, I don't know what to shout out. That's like a lot. No one. I don't know.
Okay, well, shout out to I want to shout out to our four. Nope, you're done. I want to shout out to our 4 interns. They are doing a fantastic job. They are growing little by little in front of us, which is really nice to see. Like from the moment that they applied their interview to now, so I'm very proud of them. I also want to do it like this because I never want to tell them to their faces that I'm proud of them. So, you know,
That was very sweet.
Thank you. Really, I hope you guys have enjoyed our conversation. If you've left this conversation knowing less than when you first started, well, really, we kind of feel the same because it's really a topic that we are learning and growing, and we are in the search for the right answer too, you know. But I think the one thing that we always have to keep in mind is honesty without compassion is cruelty. So if we want to have honest conversations, we want to make sure that we keep Christian compassion in our hearts at all time as we're having these conversations, or else we are indeed being cruel. And we're going to hurt other people. So let's understand that our word of mouth can actually be used as a weapon if we don't do so correctly. So thank you guys for watching. We really appreciate all of the feedback that we've been receiving. Next week, we're actually going to take a little bit of a break. So next week, you'll see a couple of videos. Father Abe is going to be on retreat. So we're going to share with you what we're going to do next week. We'll be back next week for a quicker video. It's not going to be our long video. It's going to be a quick guy. And then we're just still doing our thing, you know. So once again, thanks for watching. My name is G. That's Vicky. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Oh, I forgot to say, click like, subscribe, notification, do all that.
I have a shout out if I can record it after.
Nope, we're done. Peace.